Master at Devendra's house. The carriage proceeded to Devendra's house. Once Sri Ramakrishna had said to Devendra at Dakshineswar, "I have been thinking of visiting your house one day." Devendra had replied, "The same idea came to my mind today, and I have come here to ask that favor of you. You must grace my house this Sunday." But the master had said, "You have a small income. Don't invite many people. The carriage hire will also run to a big amount." Devendra had answered, laughing, "What if my income is small? One can run into debt to eat butter." At these words Sri Ramakrishna had laughed a long time. Soon the carriage reached Devendra's house. Sri Ramakrishna said to him, "Devendra, don't make elaborate arrangements for my meal. Something very simple will do. I am not very well today." Sri Ramakrishna seated himself in the drawing room on the ground floor of Devendra's house. The devotees sat around him. It was evening. The room was well lighted. The younger Narain, Ram, M. Girish, Devendra, Akshay, Upendra, and some other devotees were present. As the master cast his glance on a young devotee, his face beamed with joy. Pointing to the devotee, Sri Ramakrishna said to the others, "He is totally free from attachment to land, wife, and money, the three things that entangle one in worldliness. The mind that dwells on these three cannot be fixed on God." He saw a vision, too. To the devotee, "Tell us, what did you see?" Devotee, laughing, "I saw a heap of dung. Some were seated on it, and some sat at a distance." Master, "It was a vision of the plight of the worldly people who are forgetful of God. It shows that all these desires are disappearing from his mind. Need one worry about anything if one's mind is detached from woman and gold?" How strange! Only after much meditation and japa could I get rid of these desires. And how quickly he could banish them from his mind. Is it an easy matter to get rid of lust? I myself felt a queer sensation in my heart 6 months after I had begun my spiritual practice. Then I threw myself on the ground under a tree and wept bitterly. I said to the Divine Mother, "Mother, if it comes to that, I shall certainly cut my throat with a knife." Single quote. To the devotees, "If the mind is free from woman and gold, then what else can obstruct a man? He enjoys then only the bliss of Brahman." Sasi had recently been visiting Sri Ramakrishna. He was studying at the Vidyasagar College for his bachelor's degree. The master began to talk about him. Master, to the devotees, "That boy will think of money for some time. But there are some who will never do so. Some of the youngsters will not marry." The devotees listened silently to the master. Master, "It is hard to recognize an incarnation of God unless the mind is totally free from woman and gold." A man asked a seller of eggplants the value of a diamond. He said, "I can give 9 seers of eggplants in exchange. And not one more." At these words all the devotees laughed. The younger Narain laughed very loudly. Sri Ramakrishna noticed that he had quickly understood the implication of these words. Master, what a subtle mind he has. Nangta also could understand things that way. In a flash the meaning of the Gita, the Bhagavata, and other scriptures.